Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. So today I finally get to customize one of my favorite cold steels, and it is the AD-10, which I think is just a perfect fit for my hand. I do love the 4MAX Scout, but that'll be a different video here pretty soon. But I'm going to be creating some new scales for this knife using some G-Carta from G.L. Hansen & Sons. You guys, I highly recommend you check out his stuff. He makes really great materials, and I'll leave a link down below where you guys can check out his Instagram and his website. So if you guys are looking to customize your knives with some interesting and unique materials, I highly recommend some G-Carta. Again, I just think Greg makes some really cool materials, and I actually paid a visit to his place on my road trip. I'll leave a link up to that video somewhere up here, where you guys can check out his little workshop and just kind of how he creates this really cool material. And more than likely you're going to be seeing a lot more of this material here pretty soon on some of the knives that I'll be customizing, just because, again, awesome stuff. So I'm not really going to get into the AD-10 since I already talked about this knife a little bit on another video. I'll leave a link up to that video as well if you guys haven't seen it. I talk about specs and just how great this knife is. And again, I'll leave a link down below where you guys can pick one of these up off of Amazon. So with that being said, since I'll be doing the scales in that cool G-Carta, I was also going to customize the blade, pocket clip, and the lock bar, and the liners too. I was going to etch and stonewash them, but I think I'm going to leave that for another video since I just want to see what the G-Carta is going to look like against it with just the satin finish. But let's go ahead and take this thing apart and see what we got going on the inside. Alright, so here it is all taken apart. Pretty simple setup, and the aluminum scales, or sorry, the liners are very light. So again, adds to that the light factor of this knife. So that's one of the reasons why I really like this knife. And that's pretty much it. Pretty same setup as all the other cold steels that I've done. This stop pin is a little stubborn, but nothing I can't handle down in the shop. But with it now all taken apart, let's get to customizing it. Alright, so here it is all customized. Now I didn't really do much to the parts other than the spine, but I'll get to that in just a second. Let's focus on the scales here. Now, I'm really happy with how these turned out. And as you guys saw in the customization part of the video, as soon as I applied the oil, it just made that color pop like crazy. And just very excited about it. Now this is for my personal knife, so I highly doubt I'll be selling these, but you never know. There might be a new material that I'm going to want to use. And really quick, just wanted to mention that I did not create that cutout for the lanyard hole. I'm not a big fan of lanyard holes anyway, so I just wanted more of the material to shine and do its thing. So I left that part out. And for the liners, which are aluminum, I just gave it a nice satin finish because the stamped out had, or the stamped out from the factory had just little bumps and imperfections on it. So I just decided to make it look really nice. And for the blade, actually let's go to the backspacer. I did it on the aluminum backspacer, the rock pattern texture. Now I was going to leave everything alone, but I couldn't help myself but to add my favorite rock pattern texture to the backspacer, lock bar, and the spine of the blade, which I'll show you in just a second. So I did pretty much everything that goes along the backspacer or the spine of the knife. Here is the lock bar. Again, I love how rock pattern texture shifts and dances in the light. Really cool, feels really good on the hands. And here is the spine of the knife, or the blade, and I did the rock pattern texture on that as well. So really happy with the outcome. One of my favorite textures to add to a knife. So if you guys are needing that done, just let me know. So we got that there, and then just a little. It's a subtle touch, but I did add the rock pattern texture to the edges of the backspacer, or sorry, the pocket clip as well. So just a minor touch, and when you're looking at the knife, it'll definitely pop once you're moving it around in the light. So again, happy with the outcome of the rock pattern texture on the parts that I wanted to do it on. And I guess I'll explain why I left the backspacer all black still, because basically what I'm going to do is I wanted to do a test run of what it looks like all shiny or satin finished before going through with etching and stone washing basically everything, so that way you have a dark contrast against the really cool colors on the G-Carta. So let's put this thing together and see what it looks like with the satin finish. Who knows, I might end up liking it and not even messing with it. So let's put it together and see what it looks like. Alright, so here it is all put together, and I am really happy with it. G-Carta just makes, or Greg at G-Carta makes some really awesome stuff. I can't wait to use the other materials, but this Tequila Sunrise is just beautiful. Yeah, I can't get enough of this stuff because it's so unique, and it's so different right now than your typical micarta. So awesome stuff. Let me know down below what you guys think. I always appreciate you guys' input. But there is the rock pattern texture on the spine of the knife, then all the way to the lock bar, and then the backspacer. So it looks really good. Like I said, I got rid of the lanyard hole, so you do have that little gap there, but not really a big issue. And I gotta say, you guys, the satin finish, I'm surprised that I actually like it. I think this looks a lot better than if it were stone washed and etched. Let me know what you guys think down below about that decision. Or maybe I should etch and stone wash everything that's satin. But I am really happy with how it looks with just even the shiny parts. So let's see what it looks like opened up. And yeah, those colors, the colors on the G-Carta go really, really well with that satin finish. I think I'm gonna leave it. Kind of like it. Since this is my personal knife, I'll just carry it this way, and we'll see what happens over time. Maybe I'll etch this eventually, but as for now, I think I'm gonna leave it. The ergos are just as good. I basically copied the original scales. I put a nice beveled edge, bigger beveled edge underneath here at the bottom of the knife, so that way you actually have a little bit more curve when you're gripping onto the knife. So very comfortable. And I put a small bevel just around the whole knife itself, or the scales themselves. But all in all, I am really happy with it. Again, let me know down below what y'all think. But yeah, very happy with it. And that rock pattern texture just really does its thing in the light. I'm really happy with this one, you guys. I'm usually very happy with all my work, but again, personal knife, I had to make it perfect. Not that I don't on the customers' knives, because I'd like to have a perfect knife for everybody out there, but yeah, I'm really happy. I can't wait to take some pictures of this thing and just kind of post it in the Cold Steel community on Facebook. So just so you guys know, I am in the Facebook group. I believe it's Cold Steel Nation. I'll leave it up on screen somewhere, but if you guys are Cold Steel fans, I highly recommend that group in Facebook. Just really awesome stuff in that community. And yeah, I'm going to post this there and we'll see what people think of it. But that is it. Drop shut is just as good. Perfectly centered. Maybe just a hair off, but I'll tighten the pivot there really quick. Should fix it, no problem. And to be honest, I might have to create my own custom pocket clip, because it works fine, but it could work better if it was just a little bit different. So more than likely there will be a part 2 to this knife, depending on what I'd like to do with it. But I'm thinking maybe a fat carbon pocket clip. So we'll see what happens. But that is the Cold Steel AD-10, or AD-10 as I like to say. And again, thank you for watching. I appreciate the support. And I'll see you guys on the next one.